Hello, everyone.
Hey
We're
everyone.
here to share a little bit with you about our upcoming themes for the Sophia Creation Circle, which is coming Monday, June the 29th. And that's also the full moon in Capricorn. So it's going to be a very special week. There's more astrological energies that are moving in that week specifically. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But we first want to ask you if you can share this video with those who may be interested in joining us, because it's a very auspicious time. There's big shifts happening, and it's important that we come together to somehow align together and create a field that is amplifying and aligning with these energies. So you're very welcome.
And
And it's a
this,
very special one, right, for us.
that's it. This is we're actually when we were looking at this circle and starting to prepare for it, we realized it was our 60th global Sophia circle. So this is very, very special for us. It's in a way a celebration because it's a marker as well, a milestone for us. We started in 2022, and we offer them regularly, approximately once a month. And so, yeah, we hope that you can join us to make this one really special. Yeah, starting the next cycle.
Exactly. Wonderful. Great number. Well, a number that's this celebration comes also in a moment that we're in a very powerful energy, and we just come out of this incredible solstice gateway that was so powerful. And Anna and I were working in Sardinia through this gateway, and we witnessed and we experienced a lot of planetary movements that are very new, very surprising, I must say. We've written about it on our Facebook page. So if you're interested in what we've been doing there, we've made a summary for those who could not attend our work on a daily basis, but it's there with some pictures to tap into that field because it's still working in a very deep way. And yeah, we've been working with all kinds of different angles, from working with the waters, working with the incredible granites, rocks, the lands, the beings that are there, inner earth, beings that are not common in our reality so far that are coming to the surface now to co-create with us. The kingdoms that are so reaching out to co-create with us. Not that they have not done that before, but we sense within ourselves how we're opening up into the new earth consciousness, and that comes with a new possibility to align in closer, deeper ways with the kingdoms. And I think we all have been longing for this, but it's really surprising what happens when we do open naturally, because it's not something that we did like on purpose. It just happens that there were very specific messages coming from the whales, for example, to really ask us to listen to them, deeply listen with our hearts, what it is that they want to transmit to us. We had exchanges with the trees. We were with an over 4,000-year-old wild olive tree. Just imagine what consciousness has passed around this tree and what it can transmit to us, coming from a place of years and years and years ago in nature. Anyway, lots of new things happening, and we want to talk about some of those things, and we will be working with them also in the Sophia Christ Circle. So, and as we approach the day on Monday, we're sure there will be new themes rising, right? Because consciousness is moving so fast, so fast. So it's hard to catch up, but we try.
Yeah, it is. It is moving very, very quickly, and the river is is moving quicker and quicker, and that's it's also very exciting because the energy is really being put into movement. So all the preparation we've been doing for so long now is we're seeing the manifestation of that work in real time. It's interesting because as we have been working with remembrance of remembering who we are. The theme of disclosure has been particularly present in the field since Steven Spielberg's new film on disclosure, this Hollywood film, which always is an indicator that the collective consciousness is ready for some kind of a new opening into deeper realities. It's interesting for us from a mystery school perspective that that there's something really going on in a much larger level of disclosure. It's a deepening disclosure of consciousness fields in general. I mean, we are here for consciousness. That's actually the reason why we are incarnated, is to evolve consciousness, to expand consciousness. And so, as you were saying, Petra, we had this enhanced connection and collaboration with inner earth realms, particularly inner earth waters, in a very, very big way, very significant way, that opened us to new ways of perceiving not only the water beings, but also understanding ourselves as water beings who are able to walk on land. And of course, we've had this version given to us by history, certain historical narratives for a long time, but it all of a sudden it clicked into place that actually we are doing work on land that the dolphins, the whales, the turtles, well, the turtles, they do walk on land, some of them, but that they cannot do on the earth. And so we are the water beings that are walking the earth. And in that collaboration, it's very important because we are doing something that nobody else can do in that sense. We really have been feeling this deepening connection to Gaia as the mother of cosmic waters, the universal waters, that are actually held within the inner earth, and that are coming into the surface of the earth to their primordial waters, the purest of purest waters, holding consciousness. That's what water does, is that holds consciousness, and they're coming in to inform our surface earth waters. And as that happens, our consciousness fields are transforming. So we were doing a very, very big work on that. And through that, also tapping into memory fields around Atlantis and Mu at a whole new level, and needing to integrate those fields within the current reality, not by going back to the past, but by reintegrating the memory that was lost, which is very important now, to support us in building from the present consciousness that's now available on this planet that was not available at that time. So there's really a accelerated and deepening collaboration between networks as well of light beings, light workers, earth guardians, as these new levels are opening, being disclosed within our reality. They're levels that have always been there, but we haven't had access to them because we haven't been able to vibrate at that level of frequency to access them. So yeah, it's really something, isn't it?
It is. It is. Well, talking about something, I wanted to add to that some of the observations that we have seen in our inner vision, together with what we've seen that others also noticed at this moment about what is going on our planet and how does that relate to our bodies and to us, because it's one and one the same. But I would not say that we can claim that we understand what is going on, but we are witnessing it and we want to share it so that you also may add something to the information that is coming our way. So if you do, then please write it under this video, because in that sharing, we will more and more start to understand what is happening. There's definitely a shift in energy happening, and it flows everywhere around the planet. We've seen that there is an entire movement in a resurrection of a water grid that's happening on Gaia. There's been a lot of grid work done by many of you. in the meantime, but there's a whole new layer at the moment that is a co-creation between all these beings. In this case, when I talk about this water grid, with all the beings that call the oceans and the waters their home, but also the human beings, to bring the consciousness together and to make the structures and the geometry click into place in the way that apparently it's looking for. We've seen really structures moving that are looking for the right click to really click into a certain constellation that will be holding the new. It's a very interesting process if you look at it from a distance. And this is something we observe in ourselves. And we may also feel that this is happening in our own bodies. We may feel that structures in our bodies when we work with in a deep meditation, or if you just live your life, you may feel that your body is finding a new balance, a new geometry, a new clicking into place of specific consciousness. And the interesting thing is also that there is a movement in what we could call the planetary chakras, the energy portals. There's a lot of movement happening. You may be aware of all the earthquakes that are happening. So Gaia is showing in a way also that there is movement. But on an energetic level, we see these chakras moving, changing position. It's really interesting because we just wrote from that, someone just wrote, and we read it, that they had witnessed that the heart chakra of Gaia was making a shift from Glastonbury to Kauai in Hawaii. And we've just recently been there in February, March. And they talk also about the shift in the energy that flows off the planet and the planetary chakra. So it's really interesting what's happening. And regarding the consciousness of Mu, that is an important information that's coming to us at the moment. And what is there of that in the Pacific. We have been witnessing on the inner realms how the inner earth city, I would call it, civilization of Telos, is somehow shifting position. Many have witnessed it under Mount Telos, Mount Shasta, sorry. And we've been witnessing how that whole container of consciousness is moving towards the Pacific in the direction of what we know as Eastern Island, called Rapa Nui. So we have not a full understanding of what's happening. We are witness to it, and that's what we advise you to do the same. Be witness your bodies, witness the connection between your body and Gaia. And maybe there's a call from Gaia to work with your inside of your body, with the movements that are happening in her body. So
I'd like to say something more to that, which is that, as this literal clicking of the new geometry takes place these months, this is happening at various multidimensional levels. You may feel this clicking movement in these weeks, because it's really the geometry that we've been building over the last years in the etheric realms that is now ready for installation. You could view it that way, and it's being installed in various geographical areas by individuals, by groups. And as it's doing this, our new civilizational blueprint is being anchored onto our planet. And so this is a very important phase of this assemblage process. That's what it feels like, really, an assemblage process, which we've been told will come to a finalization, at least for this wave, on the late August full moon. So in the meanwhile, we should be aware that we are in this active phase of putting together pieces of a puzzle. And, when you make a puzzle and you snap pieces of the puzzle into place, it's really like that. These pieces, though, are created from sacred geometry that we've been creating collectively in the higher vibrational realms at multidimensional levels, not only as human beings, but actually through a very intricate interdimensional process with many, many beings. So it's really like that. We are assembling a puzzle created from sacred geometry. And
Yeah.
part of this puzzle is the past, what we've remembered, what we are remembering, and part of it is what is new. So this is what is super interesting about the process.
Yes, it is. I mean, what a time to live. It's interesting when you spoke. I want to say something about your astrology because when we meet on Monday, June the 29th, there is a full moon in Capricorn. So, and it's a very interesting full moon because it means that that full moon in Capricorn happens when the sun is in Cancer. So the full light is on defining your inner home. What is my home? What is it? What is the place where I create from? I mean, Cancer is often associated with the divine mother of creation on the highest level, spiritual level. So we have this full moon in Capricorn that is about new structures, you would say geometry. It's about how do we make things real? How do we embody things? So, the moon has, when it's in its full state, it has separated itself from a specific constellation with Neptune over the last period, and we have the sun in Cancer. So there has been a dream state, desire, space of intention, bringing in that what we most desire, and that has been really culminated on the solstice, where we brought in all of our attentions and prayers. And now we have the full moon in Capricorn because that has matured a little bit. And the Capricorn now says, how do we make it real? How do we embody it? What are we going to do with it? How are we going to create new structures? And as we witness, these structures are created in a way organically because the consciousness is there. And it's a beautiful time to be aware of that, to be aware that on the moment that we meet all together, that we have the energy of bringing our highest dreams for our home planet, our inner home into the fields to create the new structures. So it's an important moment. For some it will be on the 29th of June, depends where you live. For others it will be on the 30th. But the full moon's energy is there. You may already feel it rising at the moment. And just on a minor detail, the day after we will have Mercury for a few weeks again, moving retrograde. So that's another
yay.
whole period that's starting on June 30th. And for 3 weeks. Yeah.
As if we don't have enough technological problems and all kinds of challenges already, but let's just put into the
this one is particularly, of course, in the Cancer period around. So there could be a lot of evolution on our emotional fields. So if there's any emotions rising, then it's really beautiful time to work with it, to reflect on it, and to transmute it. So there will be there. It's a really strong field to do necessary emotional processing and to bring all of it fully into consciousness so it can transmute.
So there is also something very important to be said about July. So we're really on this, springboard into July on this full moon, and July has been astrologically predicted to be by many astrologers to be an incredibly potent constellation. Astrologically, there's a potency here that has the power to make a civilizational change. And that's huge, really huge. So we should not underestimate the power of the month that's coming up. One of the things that we are committed to doing is being in balance and harmony. That's really a reminder that this is one way that we can contribute to what is upcoming, to be really fully in alignment with ourselves, with the earth energies, the cosmic energies, to be able to make the most of this shift that's coming in the next weeks so that we can really be present to this quantum leap that is actually imminent in the field. So, yeah.
I want to say something to that because we have the full moon in Capricorn on the 29th. Then the 30th, we have Mercury retrograde. But at the same dates, we have Jupiter entering Leo. And it will remain there approximately for a year. So it's moving out of the sign of Cancer into the sign of Leo. So that gives an immediate change of atmosphere that's preparing us for huge work in the coming year, because we're moving from an atmosphere that was more emotional, protective, inward preparation, really moving into our home, into something that is Leo. That means like bold, brave, straightforward, stepping into visibility. Let the sun inside of you shine at its most potent radiation form. So, there's going to be a big shift. You may feel that. I think we'll talk about it another moment, but I just wanted to say it because you may be aware after the Sophia Crest circle that we will have on Monday, that the next day there's an opening door happening also that's available for us to step into. It's a big invitation from the cosmos to you to step into your, really your solar power, who you truly are.
Yeah. So in this upcoming Sophia Christ Circle on Monday, we're going to be building on all that's been transpiring in the last weeks to collectively support an opening to the new level of collective remembering, integration, clicking into place these pieces, creation, because these are creation circles. As you said, Petra, this is a really exciting moment to be alive. We really feel the flow now, finally. And to be able to bring our collective focus in a direction together. This is one thing that is so remarkable at this time, that we have synchronized at a planetary level. We have cleared so much of the distortion, so much of the separation consciousness that we are capable of synchronizing together for the resurrection and empowerment of the human family, and for the balancing and harmonization of our earth grid, so that we can actually be in service to that. And for a deepened relationship and collaboration with all kinds of sentient beings, both physical beings and etheric, multidimensional, interdimensional beings on this planet and in our galaxy. So, we're watching this unfold in real time. It's really incredible. It's an amazing time to be alive. So Monday, June 29th, full moon in Capricorn, an incredibly auspicious day to imbue the field with the new creation that supports and serves all. We hope that you'll be able to join us. Please register before 7 p.m. or 19 hours, because it takes a while to process your registration and to get you the Zoom link. And then we begin at 20 hours Paris time, Central European time. So thank you for being with us. We appreciate your presence deeply, and we hope to see you again soon. Namaste.
Namaste.